are listening to Worship Radio International, the world's #1 online Christian radio station. Check out our website at www.worshipradio.faith or follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Worship Radio INT. This is the future.
Hey everybody, welcome to Coaching by Al. This is your guest, Al Wilson Jr., and I'm so happy to have you back here with us. As I said a little while ago, we're going to have a wonderful time today because I have here in the studio with me my special guest, the lady everybody wants to talk to her. She's been on everybody's program. She is the guru of credit, Miss Chenuda Harris. Say hello.
Hi, good morning, or good afternoon, actually.
Good evening and good night for those of you who are watching whenever.
Well, we are international. So.
We are. So whatever time zone you're in, this applies, and actually the information that we're going to talk about today applies to everyone across the board. So you don't have to be just in Michigan to be able to benefit from it. The information she gives it's international. So we're going to have a wonderful time today. But so that we can go ahead and get started, there's a couple things I do want to mention that I'm very thankful that our sponsor for this particular show today is Yascribe Publishing, and what they do is unbelievable. Everything you could imagine, Yascribe Publishing, as well as Worship Radio International, and Lord, I forgot the name of the main sponsor, but anything you need done with websites, anything you need done with emails, email hosting, SSL certificates, you know how crazy those are, and they're getting more expensive by the year. But all of that is being taken care of by Holy Cloud. And that's who you want to contact. So contact Holy Cloud. It's holycloud.us, right? Right. And so so go to holycloud.us to start finding out about how you can get your email hosting and your website hosting all taken care of in one nice, neat package. Then check out Yascribe Publishing because they will take care of all of your needs. If you have a thought in your mind and you're thinking, you know what, I think this could be a book, and you haven't really gone to anybody yet, you don't know exactly what steps to take, contact Yascribe Publishing. And you can do that all right here. It's all in-house. Talk to Prophet Blaine and his beautiful wife, Apostle Ade, and they will get you going in the right direction. But let's go ahead and jump into today's talk because, oh my goodness, we got so much to talk about. I'm so happy to have you here. Listen, we've been setting this up for a long time, y'all. We have been setting this up for a good long time, and I'm so happy that she's with us today. Like I said, she's in demand everywhere she goes. So if you don't mind, just go ahead and tell everybody a little bit about yourself so they can get a little familiarized with you, get all nice and warmed up to you, and then we can really get down to it.
Awesome. Well, I am Chenuda Harris. I am a financial expert. I help people with their financial matters, solutions to their financial matters, to be exact.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a single mom. I work at Chrysler full time, and my daughter is 27 years old, and
looks like her sister, y'all. They look like sisters.
And we get that all the time. So the reason that I started doing what I'm doing is because, number one, my credit was busted.
Okay.
I'm just going to be very transparent with you.
I think everybody can understand that.
And I'm certain a lot of people can relate.
Yeah.
I was coming up on my anniversary for Chrysler. I have 19 years, soon to be 20 in February.
Woo. Congratulations just on that.
Thank you. And I was approaching a milestone birthday. I just turned 50 a few weeks ago. And
happy birthday.
Thank you. And I was just like at a point of I needed to reevaluate some things in my life.
Yeah.
Meaning I had to take a look at where I am financially. And sitting with 20 years, a lot of people look at if you got 20 years, you got 10 more years to go, supposedly, according to, the 30 and out rule if you were going to do that. But then I had to look at my own family history. Mm-hmm. My father has 53 years with Chrysler.
Oh, my goodness.
And a couple of years ago, I
haven't even lived long enough to be alive as long as he's been working. My goodness.
Afforded the opportunity to go present him with his 50-year service award.
Beautiful.
And in our family, we have over 100 years of lineage in Chrysler.
Wow.
And I said, I'll be doggone if I give them 50 years of my life. I can't.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I was determined that I needed to figure out a way to bridge the gap of between retirement and having a comfortable lifestyle, and just doing some things to change where I was financially. So the first thing that I wanted to do was change my financial habits and spending, and then fix my credit.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was the type of person that I had filed bankruptcy probably over 15 years ago.
Okay.
And after I came out of that bankruptcy, in my mind, I was like, I'm going to pay cash for everything. I don't need credit cards. I didn't have a credit card and didn't realize how important that it was to have credit.
Yeah.
And these were some things that we weren't really taught about in school.
Yeah.
We really did
Not
not
at
get,
all.
get that education.
Yeah.
You know, we were taught home ec. We were taught woodshop. We were taught how to type.
See, I didn't even get all of that. That was gone by the time anyway.
So, you know, we just didn't get that education. We just missed the ball.
Wow.
So I had began to scour social media. Now listen to what I'm saying. I found this opportunity on social media.
Wow.
A lady named Afua Jones was my sponsor, and she's out of Manassas, Virginia. And keep in mind, I'm here in Detroit, Michigan. And it was like a no-brainer for me. It had offered everything that I needed to do, which was fix my credit and do some other things. And we're going to talk about the components of what I do, what it can do to impact your life. So we'll talk about that in just a minute. But
all right.
it had everything that I needed to blend that gap that I was missing, to mend it, to make it come together. And so it was definitely a no-brainer for me. I signed up immediately, got started. And here I am getting ready to celebrate 2 years with this. And it has totally opened up windows of opportunity that I never really imagined. Talk show radio is one of them, because I never had the notion that I was going to be have my own show, and then plus now touring, being on everybody else's show.
Yeah.
So I'm excited.
Because this is a big topic, and this is really big, and unfortunately, it's something that everybody knows they need to get together, but most times we just delay and we put it off and we put it off and we put it off, unfortunately, for too long, until the point where we need it, and then we're scrambling trying to get something done when we could be doing something daily, just in little increments, to get things going. So that's what we're going to hit about. Now, I see so many of you are starting to join us, and I want to ask those of you who are already joining us, and I see many of you on. I see my sister Rosalind Childs and my brother Demond. I see Sister Sarah Ray, Sister Jacqueline Cross. I see my sister Kimmy and my wife Tarsha. Hey, everybody. Now, listen, this is what I need you to do real quick. I need you to share this video, because this is going to be big today, and everybody that you know needs to hear about what they can do to improve their credit. It doesn't make a difference if your credit is in the toilet or if it's on the top of the mountain. Everybody can do something to improve their credit or learn how to use it more effectively. Okay, so that's what we are going to discuss. Go ahead and share it right now. Make sure you at least tag 2 people and say, hey, listen, you need to watch this. You need to pay attention closely. Take some notes, even write down some questions in the comment section when we get to that point, so that she can answer them. We have her here. She is a tool not only for just the African American community, not just for the church, but everybody, for everybody who needs it. And everybody needs this. So get ready.
Okay, well, let's start here. First of all, there's over 65 million people in the United States with less than perfect credit.
Wow.
Here in Detroit.
So I shouldn't feel alone.
No, you are not alone. And I tell people that all the time. Just because your neighbor drives a Cadillac doesn't mean that they have perfect credit.
Well, what is perfect credit?
Okay. If you were to look
I don't want to get you off subject, but I mean, just so we can get an idea of where you're starting to go from. What's perfect credit?
Perfect credit is an 850 score. That is absolutely the highest that you can make.
Okay, so 65 million people, you're saying, have less than that.
65 million people have less than a 599.
Whoa, okay. Go ahead. I'm going to shut up now.
So we're going to talk about how this whole thing is structured. So here's the calculation. So if you're looking at your score from 350 to 550, you're at a very poor range.
Okay.
So you're targeted for higher interest rates, and you're paying more for something that you could really pay less for by just working on your credit. 550 to 649 puts you in the poor range, but that's where the average of that 65 million falls, in the poor range.
Wow.
Poor to very poor.
Wow.
The median here for the Detroit metropolitan area is 572. So even for us, we're still in that poor range. So I was sitting at poor.
Okay.
So I needed to move up higher, right?
Yeah.
So the fair range is 650 to 699. And good is 700 to 749.
Okay.
So if you really want to have excellent credit, you want to hit that 750 and above.
Okay.
Anybody that tells you that they have a 900 credit score, they lying, because there's no such thing. So let's put all the disclaimers out there. But let me tell you the difference at a 750 and an 850, because a lot of people think that, okay, I need an 800 credit score or to be in the 800 club. The only difference between 750 and 850 is bragging rights, because you're still going to be offered the same thing. So,
Wow.
that's one of those to each his own type measures.
Overachievers.
Yeah, pretty much. You're overachievers. So what I always like to talk about too is informing you of how your credit score is calculated, because that's something that a lot of people where a lot of us make our mistakes.
Yeah.
Okay. 35% of your credit score is calculated by your payment history. So paying your bills on time is important.
Yeah.
The level of debt that you have. So therefore, the amount of debt that you have overall helps contribute to that score. That's 30%.
Okay.
The age of your debt, so the length of time, is 15%.
Okay.
And then having types of credit, so between revolving credit and charge cards. And the difference between that is your revolving credit is your house payments, your car payments. Charge payments would be like your Home Depot, your Macy's, your Lane Bryant's. That's really, really important. But let's talk about the difference real quick between a charge card and a credit card.
Okay.
A charge card is your Macy's, Lane Bryant. Your credit card, which is the most important thing, is your Visa, MasterCard, American Express. That card that you can go buy more than one thing. You can put groceries, gas, and things of that nature on your credit card versus your charge card. And a lot of people didn't realize that that is really significant.
So the charge card is more so specifically to that store.
Correct. You can't use your Lane Bryant at Home Depot.
Right.
So exactly right.
I know some of y'all done tried that. Stop it. Stop it.
Credit inquiries, that makes up 10% of your credit score. So if you're going to buy a car and you are in that poor to very poor category, they're going to run your credit at least 7 to 10 banks, which is going to hit your credit score in a negative way.
Okay. So just them checking
The inquiries alone
is going to mess up your credit.
is going to drop your score. I'm not going to say it's going to mess it up, but
it'll
it
drop your
will
score.
decrease your score.
Okay.
A late payment can impact your score anywhere from 50 to 100 points every time you're late.
Okay.
So this is important, why I say pay your bills on time. Now, here's a nugget. Write this down. If you break up your payments, if your payment date is November 1st and you break up that payment of $150 into $75 increments, it's going to trigger the algorithms of the credit scoring system as if you've made 2 monthly payments, but you've only made your one payment. But it shows that you are financially responsible. And this is something that we need to get in the habit of in terms of paying our bills. It will also help with increasing your score faster.
Okay.
So that is a trick. Now, Listen to this. A lot of people think that our credit bureaus are governed by the U.S. government because they are bureaus. They're not.
Private.
They're privately owned, and two of which are not even in the United States.
Uh-oh.
However, newsflash, they govern what you and I as consumers can and cannot do.
And they're not even here.
And they're not here.
Come on now.
So, really.
Are y'all catching this? Are y'all hearing this? Tag somebody. Share this video with somebody right now. You know somebody in your family. You know Pookie and them. You know Ray Ray. You know Boo Boo. All of them that need some credit adjusting and some credit correction. Go ahead and tag this video. Share it. Post it now on your page so that they can see it because they need this information. It could be something. Hey, if they get theirs correct, maybe they'll stop coming to you for stuff. Right? Come on now. So go ahead and share it right now.
Here's some other tips. Stop co-signing.
Uh-oh.
I know that we tend to want our children to do better, but stop co-signing for things because you are becoming more liable and financially unstable when you're co-signing and putting your name on something that you have no control over somebody else paying.
Yeah.
So don't co-sign for anybody anymore.
Well, what about in the reverse of that? And I don't want to get ahead of you, but what in the reverse? Like I know growing up, a friend of mine, and I'm not trying to say what was right or what was wrong, but a friend of mine, they had bad credit when they got started with life because their parents was putting things in their name and all that kind of stuff, even when they were children. And so when they got up to age to where they could actually start working, they already had bad credit. Is that something that's real and live?
That's very real. That is very real. It just
what can you do if somebody is doing that to you and you're not even aware of it because you're a child or
you're
you were a
definitely
child?
going to have to do credit repair to do that. And one of the things that we talk about with credit restoration is we help take away or delete erroneous items off of your credit report. So if it isn't yours, our company can remove it.
Okay.
But you're going to have to do some action steps if that has happened to you. And I'll give you a perfect example. Our number 2 person in our company came from a different situation than my lifestyle that I've experienced growing up out of Miami, Florida. And he stated that his mom, she had him at an early age, but because there wasn't people there to teach her, she had put stuff in her children's name. And his name was one of them. So one of the things that he was able to do immediately when he got on this program was to have those erroneous items, the light bill, the gas bill, the things that wasn't his, be removed off of his credit because he never did make those bills.
Right.
They're not his. And technically with the Fair Credit Reporting Act of 1971, we use that as leverage to remove anything that is erroneous off of your credit report. Okay. So if it isn't yours, it doesn't belong there.
So it doesn't have to stick to you the rest of your life. It doesn't have to
stay with you forever.
Wow.
So there is a solution to that problem.
Okay. Well, then that should be good news for somebody out there because I'm sure some of you know someone somewhere and you can let them know that it doesn't have to stay that way. We do not have to fall into the belief that just because everybody else has bad credit is just a common thing and you have to just accept it. We're slashing that today. Okay. Amen. So let's go on. I keep interrupting you. Go ahead.
It's okay. It's okay. But this is great conversation.
I just know that this is touching so many people right at the heart of it, and we need this information. So
definitely. So another thing, we need to learn how to pay down our debt, not continuously increase our debt. Some of the things that we need to practice is keeping our balances under 30%.
Yes.
So if you have a credit card with a limit of $1,000, you cannot charge it up to $999.99.
Yeah.
So don't max out your credit cards. You want to pay those down. And then you will start to see an increase in your credit score. So I'm giving you some real life skills tips here to get yourself going if you just really want to start making some good practices in your life. So with that $1,000, you want to stay at $300. So you could spend up to $300 and then pay that down.
So then the goal is to have credit but not need it.
Correct.
That's what they want to see.
It's good to have it. Use it wisely. But just don't max it out.
Yeah, don't abuse
because
it.
when you abuse it and max it out, you're showing yourself not stable and your financial risk.
Yeah.
So when you get ready to go to apply for a car or purchase a home, you're paying the higher interest rates. Who wants to pay 25% on a used car that's 5 to 6 years old already? And is used.
Yeah.
So I'm giving you some life skills.
All right. Continue on.
Okay.
Continue on.
Okay.
Well, let me interject this before you do, because this is just some myths I'm just trying to break up from a whole lot of people, who might have this kind of mentality or thinking. Just because you may have a particular credit score that may not be perfect credit, it doesn't mean you're a bad person.
Correct.
Because there's so many things that can happen in a person's life that were unexpected that can cause you to have to miss payments or something like that. But it doesn't mean that you have to stay there.
Correct.
And if I'm correct, just about any situation can be fixed, whether it's by something that you do that takes effect immediately or even over time, but that can be fixed. Okay.
That's correct. But you got to put some action behind it. A lot of people think that if we just sit on it, it's just going to go away. Wrong.
Yeah.
You got to put some elbow grease and do your research.
Yeah.
So here's a couple of other great tips. If you don't have credit established, let's talk about a secured credit card. That's where you put down a deposit and you're able to utilize that credit, but you want to pay that credit card on time. We don't want to close out credit cards either, because every time I hear somebody say, well, I just closed out my Macy's, I just paid them all.
Yeah.
No, just pay them down.
Right.
Don't close it, because you're taking away some history. And when you do that, your credit score is going to take a hit as well. And a lot of people don't understand or know that. Now, we do offer a program to add positive credit to your credit score and through renting. So those of you that are renting an apartment or paying a landlord, we can put you in a program to increase your credit score within 30 days on a program called Credit My Rent. So now I'm going to talk to you about the protection plan.
Okay.
And that's our credit restoration. It has the credit restoration plan in it.
Okay, give me 1 second. For those of you that are watching, if you're just joining us, thank you so much for joining. This is Coaching by Al. You're watching on Worship Radio International. You can also check it out on worshipradio.faith, or you might be checking it out later on YouTube, or you're listening on TuneIn or Spotify. Whatever you're listening on, be sure to share this with someone, because it'll really help them out. Whatever level you're at in your credit, you can always increase it. You can make it better, or you can learn to use it more wisely, which gives you a great name. And as we understand from the scripture, that your name is important. Your name is worth silver, is worth gold, is worth more than that. So the better we can do at making our name right, that means we're more trustworthy, and when we're more trustworthy, it gives us an opportunity to be more effective in life. Once we have our stuff together, then we can be trusted with someone else's stuff. So listen closely to what this lady here, Miss Chenuda Harris, is saying, and then check out her own page too. What's your Facebook page?
My Facebook page is Chenuda M. Harris.
Chenuda M. Harris.
And I'm on Instagram at Chenuda. And my email address is letsfixitwithchenuda@gmail.com. And if you're looking for my services, and we're going to say this a couple times, it's www.chenudaharris.com. And we'll have that information posted on the websites and on the Facebook pages. So you will have that.
Okay, sorry to interrupt, but I just wanted to make sure people knew who we were and who they're listening to and how to get in contact with you. So go ahead, take us to the mountaintop.
Okay, well, we're going to talk about United Credit Services Protection Plan.
Okay.
Like I was stating, it's more than just credit restoration. So we want to be able to, one, get your credit in order, but we want to give you some other things. Now, we've already discussed what we do in reference to removing erroneous derogatory items from the credit report.
Right.
Now, this process, you start seeing results within 45 to 90 days. It's designed for you to get your credit repaired and in order within a 4 to 6 months timeline. And I always say that to people, one, because it's not an overnight fix. Okay. It didn't take us overnight to run our credit up and destroy it. So it's a process.
Yeah.
So don't think that, okay, I'm gonna sign up and then next week my credit gonna be straight. I can go buy the home of my dreams, or I can go buy that dream car. It doesn't happen that quickly. I'm just being very transparent.
So be patient.
So most definitely. And I'm going to give you at the end of this a couple of great examples of people that have been on our program and have done some tremendous things.
Okay.
So back to the protection plan. So with our plan, you're going to get the credit restoration. Also, each person is going to get a credit attorney on retainer. Okay. So what that simply does is that in the event you're getting harassing phone calls, letters, that our credit team can't get off your report or stop, we have a credit attorney on retainer for each of our clients.
Wow. To
assist. And having an attorney on this type of plan is huge because I think you know that if you decided you needed an attorney for any type of legal needs, the retainer fee for an attorney is not cheap.
Not at all. You're talking about a couple $100 per hour at least.
At least. And that's just to retain them. That doesn't even include your services. We also give you a will, trust, power of attorney. Now, this is huge for me. And the reason that is huge, especially in the Black community, is because we're losing people left and right that don't have a will, trust, power of attorney. Absolutely. Don't understand what that means. They're dying and they don't have things taken care of, which leaves families in turmoil.
Oh, yes.
And you being a pastor can probably attest to families coming to you because they don't have these documents in place, and it rips the family apart. Yeah. And we know that we've just recently lost icons that didn't have these documents in place and had the money to do it. Yes. Yes. Which to me is just ridiculous, but you know.
Yeah, I mean it's and I don't mean to laugh at that, but unfortunately it's so sad that you almost have to laugh because you can't deal with it. It's like to have to see a family go through arguing and fighting and they maybe would have been had a good relationship at some point, but now because whoever has gone on to glory or whatever, now having to pick up the pieces because things weren't put in order ahead of time. Just a little bit of planning could have made all the difference in the world. So just because, maybe you feel like, well, I'm ready to go and I've served my time and I'm thankful. Have you done everything that you're supposed to do? And have you ensured that the legacy that you leave is not going to be left to fighting and arguing and tussling and bustling over this and that? Who is ready to take up the mantle or take up the baton and keep running with it? And this is a part of what you're saying, dude, and making sure you have that power of attorney. But I'm not the one talking. She's the one talking. So I'm go ahead. Okay. You do your thing.
Well, even with the will, you need that trust because the trust executes the will.
Yes.
Okay. A lot of people just think, oh, if I have a will, I'm straight. No, you need a person to be over that trust, to be able to execute the will. You need a power of attorney. So in the event you become incapacitated and cannot act on your own, your wishes are carried out. Because who wants to have their wishes violated or, better yet, not even known certain things that you may want in place in the event that you can't respond for yourself. Right. And you now being a dad, I'm certain you want to make sure that your wife and your child's future is secure if something was to happen to you.
Absolutely.
So these are all important factors. I mean, like I said before, we've lost Aretha Franklin, who didn't have a will, trust, power of attorney. We've lost Prince, Michael Jackson, James Brown. None of these people, and they actually had money. They didn't have these documents in place. So now the state is coming in, and guess what? The state gets a part of their assets.
Absolutely. And I know it's something that we don't like to think about. Who likes to think about death? No one does. But the fact is that you can't get out of life alive, right? It's going to happen. It's going to happen. So we have to be mature, and we have to plan ahead and think if something happens. And it might not even necessarily be death, like you said. It could be someone who's has become incapacitated, maybe a stroke or something that renders this person to a point where they cannot either make a decision for themselves at the moment, or for a long term. Consider if that was you. Do you want people making decisions that you did not want them to make because you did not have anything in place? It's time to think about it now, not when it happens. Think about it now.
Definitely. Okay. And then also as a part of that is like the hugest part of our services. I'm sorry. And I'm going back to it because I'm very passionate about that, because I've personally in my own family have seen where this whole scenario can just drive a negative wedge in relationships within the family and cause the family dynamics to just go south.
So unnecessary.
And exactly. It's just stressful. Unnecessary stress. Okay. Also, you get a budgeting tool. Now, this is another big thing of mine.
Okay.
We got to learn how to budget our money. You can't have more month than you have money. A lot of people feel like, okay, I'm living paycheck to paycheck. I'm robbing Peter to pay Paul. So sometimes you're going to have to do some push-aways from things that are habitual. That Starbucks, that Tim Hortons that we might have every day. Cut that out for a few months in order to get yourself straight. I always say cigarettes, people that have that nasty habit. That will help get you in a better position financially with your credit if you just cut out something.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be forever.
Right.
But if you just took that time and sacrificed that for a short term, the difference that it would make with what you have to do. Wow. Then also we're going to give you a debt payoff profile. And what that's going to do is show you how to pay off or pay down some of your debt and put your credit score in a different position. It'll elevate it faster. So let's just say, for instance, you're trying to pay off your house faster. You program this into this profile, and it's going to tell you what you need to pay off that house or whatever it is you're trying to achieve faster.
Absolutely. One thing I saw my sister Jacqueline said, budget is not a bad word. That's so true. I used to think when I was growing up, budget was a bad word. I thought budget meant if you had to live on a budget, or when I heard people talk about budget, it was always this negative connotation meant you were poor and you didn't have anything. You had to have a budget this and a budget that and budget meals but it's not. I find out as I got older, the richest of the rich live on a budget. And that's how they stay rich.
Okay. Let me ask you this. When you look at pictures of Warren Buffett, Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, even the guy that created Facebook, are they like in lavish clothes or things like that? Real flashy?
Never, ever, ever.
Okay.
Never, ever.
You know why? Because they keep their money in their pocket.
Stop living above your means.
Just because they have the money and they have lots of it and have the means to live lavish lifestyles, that doesn't necessarily mean that we have to be the flashy of flashing.
No.
We don't have to have Louis Vuitton, Gucci, Louboutins, and all those things in order to have an identity.
Exactly.
But budgeting is so key. Yeah. Like I said, a lot of people tend to have more month than they have money, and that's because we live beyond our means. Yeah. And we want to try to keep up with the Joneses, and that is not what God really wanted us to do.
At all. At all.
So that is so
it was so when I was growing up, everybody had this and that and everything, clothes and everything, and mom would be taking us to Kmart and J.C. Penney's, and I'm like, I don't want to wear this stuff. I want to wear the big name designers and all that kind of stuff. And she said, no, you're going to wear this. And for the longest time, I was so upset about it until I got older and I realized that all these people are doing are advertising, paying to advertise. Where do you get that kind of, benefit if I have a company and you're going to pay me so that you can advertise my product for me? That's what people are doing when they're wearing all of these, high fashion profile clothing. I mean, everything I got on, just about everything came from the thrift store, and it works fine. It's good. It's quality clothing, and it covers me. That's all it needs to do. And like you said, if you talk to Warren Buffett, he still lives in the same house that he lived in when he started his business, and he's fine with it. He has no problems with it. We just go overboard, y'all. We need to quit going. Talk. You talk. Don't let me get started. You know how preachers do. So
Okay. Okay. And then also we're going to give you credit monitoring. So we're going to monitor your credit, and you're going to be able to have a 24-hour access to see your credit score. Anytime that someone tries to apply for credit, if you try to apply for credit, you're going to get an alert.
Okay.
So those of you that have been victims of identity theft, we're going to protect you.
Been there.
Because that's not an easy thing to come out of if you've ever had your identity stolen. And that is probably like one of the highest thefts that right now is identity theft. Every 5 seconds, someone's identity is stolen and compromised.
Now, what about all of these different credit reporting things that we see pop up on the commercials and all that kind of stuff?
Credit Karma,
all that kind of
Credit
stuff.
Sesame,
Tell us
inaccurate.
Inaccurate.
Inaccurate. They are Credit Karma is a great tool to give you a projection, but that's about all that Credit Karma is good for. Here's a jewel. Write this down. In the event that you have not taken a look at what your credit report looks like, I need you to go to www.annualcreditreport.com. This is a freebie. And you're able to pull your credit report and access it one time a year and take a look at it. I always tell people to try to pull it at the beginning of the year, but now is a good time as we're getting ready to go into 2020. This is something that I've been talking faithfully for the last few weeks on my show about preparing yourself for 2020. So take a look at what's on your credit report. If you see something that is not supposed to be there, then we need to have some conversation. But definitely take a look at what's there so you'll know, have you been a victim of credit fraud, identity theft? Is everything supposed to be where it is on your credit report? And then keep in mind, each report is going to be different. Remember, we already said they're not owned and governed by the government, but they don't even talk to each other. So what Experian does and TransUnion does and Equifax, they all do their own things individually. So that's why your credit score is never the same on all three credit bureaus. You'll have three different scores.
So you have to look at all three of them to make sure that they're accurate, because just working on one is not going to do it.
No. And that's why we simultaneously, when we do our disputes, we do them simultaneously with all three credit bureaus at the same time. And then that way, when it is time for you to purchase that home or purchase that car, you have done the work and everybody is like in harmony.
Okay.
Your score is back intact the way it's supposed to be. Now, another one of our products that we have is a financial lockbox.
Okay.
And what that does is simply, you know how back in the day, Big Mama probably like, oh, well, I'm going to hide this under the mattress. And in the event that something should happen to me, all of my stuff is under the mattress, under the third blanket, the red one, not the blue one, in the back bedroom upstairs, hiding stuff. You don't have to do that anymore. We have a digital lockbox where you can put all your passwords and have all of your information protected and given to a person to execute in the event you become incapacitated, there's an emergency, or in the event of your passing.
Okay.
You have all of your items secured for your loved one.
That's good.
And that is an awesome tool to have.
Yes, that is. That is good.
Because it takes all the thinking and guessing out of everything. I've heard so many times where people lose a loved one, and then they're like, well, we don't know where all their stuff is. And
Yeah.
then they're still trying to hunt and find after the person's been gone. Or you got to do a GoFundMe until you find what the person has, because it's all over the place.
Yeah, and that can be embarrassing.
Embarrassing and just
Demoralizing.
more stressful than
Yeah, you already got to deal with the passing of the loved one. Now you got to go through all this rigmarole. Yeah,
exactly.
unnecessary.
It takes it all out. And then once again, we have Info Armor, which is our identity monitoring. So we're going to monitor your identity. So it's like
a lot of
LifeLock.
programs.
So you're getting a whole lot of things. That's why I said it's not just credit restoration.
Mm-hmm.
We're really protecting your financial future and securing you and educating our customer. So once you're on our program, it's so important that you have walked away with the educational piece, not just the restoration piece.
Yeah.
And I hope that makes sense.
Yes, absolutely.
Credit builder. We're going to show you in the event that you are in that poor to very poor category, how to build your credit. And then, I know we always Google a celebrity's net worth. Well, now we have a net worth calculator to show you personally what your net worth is. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. You look at mine, you'll be like, ha ha, ha ha ha.
But you got to start somewhere,
But you got to start somewhere.
You got to start somewhere. You got to face it. You got to say, okay, this is where I'm at now, but it doesn't have to be where I stay.
It is. I mean, we're pulling off the mask. We're just being real with each other right now.
Absolutely.
And then we have a savings goal tracker to help you in the event that you are planning a wedding, a vacation, college graduations. We have a savings module to show you how to save money. If you put X amount of dollars into your savings plan, this is where you'll be, and shows you how to put things into money-making situations to help increase your finances.
Okay.
So all of these products are what we offer with the program that I have to offer.
Now,
And
tell
it's
everybody again how they can reach you, because we got about 10 minutes left, and I know there's one more subject that we definitely want to touch on.
definitely
So tell everybody one more time so that they can know how to get in contact with you. Listen, family, don't put it off. Don't put it off. Don't think, well, I'll get around to that whenever I get around to it. No, days are passing anyway. And if your day is going to pass and next week is going to come, why not go ahead and get started now on getting set up with a all-in-one, all-inclusive system that's going to help you get on the right track. And this isn't just for you. This is perpetual. This is for your generations to come after you. Something that can get you in line and know you can have some nice, peaceful, restful nights of sleep knowing that your family is protected with credit, with all of the different programs that they offer to make sure that your financial future is good to go, and at least starting to build it if it isn't where you want it to be. There's a lot of people who maybe started off great and things happened and it came all the way down to the bottom. Guess what? We can start over. We can build it right back up. I mean, that's what happened with us. We had, I won't say it was great credit, but it was right at 749. And then things happened that we had nothing to do with. Something happened. There was a problem that occurred, and it caused our mortgage rate to go up. I mean, our mortgage amount to go up monthly, crazy amount. And we found out what it is finally. But as a result of that, we had to pay that and pay that and pay that every month, over $1,000 more than it was supposed to be. And then everything else dried up. So we couldn't get to other things we needed to pay for to make sure we kept a roof over our head. But it caused our credit to go way down. But that doesn't mean that we have to stay there. We can bring it right back up because we know what it takes to get it up there. But having this kind of program in place means that we don't have to do it all on our own. And if you're trying to do it just on your own, don't do it. That's all I'm going to say.
It's
Trust
okay
this
to
lady.
reach out for help.
So tell them one more time how to get to you, and then we're going to hit this other subject.
My phone number is 734-752-8818. My website for the services are www.chenadaharris.com.
Now, just in case they don't know how to spell it.
You spell my name Chenauda Harris. Just all one word. Chenadaharris.com.
Just like it sounds.
And then I'm on Facebook at Chenuda M. Harris and Instagram just at Chenuda. So,
And if you need that information again, if you were unable to get it, you can go back and watch this video again, or you can contact me and I'll make sure that you get it, because you need her services. You really do. You really do.
okay, now I want to talk about the Youth Financial Literacy Scholarship Program.
And this is what I want everybody to
So-
listen to. If you have a young person or some young people that you know, someone in your family, somebody at your church, somebody on your job, and they have young people, you need to hear this right here. Whew, go ahead.
This is going to bless your life if you have a high school senior or a college freshman. Our company, for every protection plan that we sell, we give back to the community through the YFL. And YFL is the Youth Financial Literacy Foundation.
That's beautiful.
And what we are offering, or what they have offered every year, is a scholarship program. This year's scholarship program is $400,000 in scholarship money. Let me say that again in case y'all missed that. $400,000 in scholarship money. The top prize is $25,000
For the top prize.
for the top prize. There's 57 places, so the least amount is $5,000.
Which is still huge.
Exactly. So, the qualifications for this program is simply an essay. And the website that you want to go to, write this down: www.yflfoundation.org. This is a free, FREE, free program. It doesn't have an application fee. It's not based upon your GPA, the extracurricular activities
Y'all better listen.
you did in school. It's not based upon who likes you or knows you. It is based upon your ability to write an essay about financial literacy. And when I tell you, I was able to witness the winner this year walk away with a $25,000 check. And he is the son of a single mom who had another son attending Hampton University, of which this young man, Justin Wright, out of South Carolina, was attending Hampton University this fall. He's playing football. With the scholarship that he was able to get from the YFL, he didn't have to get a student loan.
Wow.
And this is huge.
That's major.
You guys, I cannot plead with you more to make sure that if you have a freshman in college or a high school senior, this is so, so important. So important.
And for those of you who need that again, I did put it in the comment section. If you look down under my name, you'll see yflfoundation.org. That's where you want to go.
Okay. Now, the second part of this program is the Youth Financial Literacy Program, where we teach our children ages 8 to 18 about financial literacy. And it's an 8-week course that is administered by a teacher. And for every 35 kids that completes this program, our company is awarding them $500.
Beautiful.
And for those of us adults who did not get this type of educational opportunity in school, here's a chance now for our kids to be educated and taught things that we did not get that opportunity to learn.
Isn't that what it's all
And
about?
this is my passion right here, you
I
guys.
can see you just
is just
smiling
the
and
teachers.
everything.
Because, just by people listening to me and taking the advice that I give, when it came down to this last year, my goal was simply one of my listeners to be able to capture a part of the scholarship program. And I did wind up achieving that goal. I had one person's child become the recipient of the $7,000 scholarship,
Beautiful.
which means the world to me. Now, keep in mind, I've never
About
met
3
this
minutes.
person, but I'm just so excited for the opportunity to be able to help our kids who are our future.
That's
And
beautiful.
that is really what I believe my purpose is
That's
to be able to
wonderful.
help people.
That is wonderful. See, didn't I tell you were going to get some good information today? So I know what you're already saying. Well, when you going to have her back on the show? Don't worry, it's happening. It's happening. She is in demand all over the place, and that's why you need to contact her, because she can help. She can help. She can help. It's not a thing of, well, she's going to be too busy to assist me, and maybe it's something that, is. Let me ask you this, because I know somebody is thinking this, and we don't necessarily have to talk about the specifics of the detail, but is this something that is financially reasonable for someone to be able to get started with and to do?
The cost of the program is
see, I wasn't even going to say the cost of the program, but if you want
I'm not going to give you the full cost, but I'm going to tell you this. The cost of the program is less than $3 a day.
Come on now.
$3 a day. So, like I said, if you cut out Tim Hortons, your donuts, your cigarettes, you have paid for the program.
Starbucks is too strong anyway. Come on, you don't want to drink that.
$5.
And there you go. There you go. So this is a totally doable thing. This is something that you can start today. You don't have to try to say, well, let me see if I can get to it next week. No, you can go to her informational website and Facebook page and all of that right now, just in case somebody missed it, because we only have 2 minutes left. Let them know one more time how they can get in contact with you. Actually, we have less than 2 minutes, so give them the information one more time.
Awesome. Okay. The website is www.chenudaharris.com. My Facebook, Chenuda M. Harris, and my Instagram is Chenuda. And guess what, you guys? My consultations are at a wonderful price. Free. So definitely call me. 734-752-8818. And then I want to invite you to tune into my show this Wednesday, yes, 4 o'clock, live right here on Facebook and Worship International. I'm going to have a live guest give her testimony of her being on our services and what it has done for her, because I want you to know that just because you have had life happen, there is still life to live, even with less than perfect credit.
Yes. And
she's going to be able to give you an insight and tell her story from coming out of a divorce and being able to get on our program and get approved for a home and buy a home for her and her teenagers and live life.
Wow.
So I can't wait till Wednesday, 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, right here on Worship Radio, for her to be able to tell her story
that
here.
Is beautiful. So listen, y'all, don't fall for the myths and the rumors that credit is not important and you don't need it. No, you're going to need it somewhere in life. It's not a matter of the issue is don't abuse it. Don't abuse it. Get it done properly, get it right, but just then don't abuse it, because it will help you in the long run. There's some things that you're just going to need that. Do you know, and tell me if I'm wrong, it even affects your rate when it comes to your insurance.
It does.
And you so many other things.
You have a whole entire separate credit score for insurance. And those of you that live here in the metropolitan Detroit area know we're one of those states that pays some of the highest rates. So it is
the
very
highest
important
in the country, actually.
It is very important to get your credit score in order so you can save some money on some of the other bills that you're paying.
Yeah, so don't be mad at everybody because they got cheaper rates. No, just do what you need to do, and we'll get it together. Chenuda, I thank you so much for being on the show today. I know we are down to the wire right now, and for all of you who joined in and listened, God bless you. Thank you, and I can't wait to see you next time on Coaching by Al. Be sure to like this if you're watching. Be sure to like the page and share it with someone. Go ahead and just tap share. As you can see, we're not going to say anything, and we haven't said anything that will offend any of the people on your page. So go ahead and share it so that everyone can get this information, and then tell them to watch her program. It's on Wednesday.
It's on Wednesdays, 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time.
Right here on Facebook Live. Go to her page, Chenuda Harris, Chenuda M. Harris, and you can watch it there, right? Or Worship Radio International. And we thank you again for the time today. Yascribe Publishing and Holy Cloud for being our sponsor today, Worship Radio International. We will see you next time on Coaching by Al, right here, same place next week, 12 noon. God bless you.
Thank you.
Love you. Thank you so much.
You are listening to Worship Radio International. the world's #1 online Christian radio station. Check out our website at www.worshipradio.faith or follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Worship Radio INT. This is the future.